What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and some absolutely more brutal news coming out of Netflix after basically giving back 50% of its entire gains over the past year or two in the stock market. On Friday, we heard about several layoffs from their marketing department, a department that was basically in charge of hyping up their own shows. But what's hilarious about that is that their shows suck. And it's probably not the marketing department's fault that people don't want to watch it and people don't want to contribute their time and money to watching that. When you have several controversies throughout the year, again, it's a multi-faceted woke kind of backfire that's just been one of the best things to watch. The other great thing to watch is all of your support. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but today we launched Coffee Brand Coffee. It is my company. It is an apolitical coffee company that is not trying to sell liberal tears, and it's not trying to be a cringe lefty brand like charging $2 more for white people to get free press. It's coffee. It's got everything you need. So if you need the K-Cup maker, we have that on the site, the reusable K-Cup filter. You can get whole bean. You can get ground. Most importantly, it's roasted on order. You're not going to get a fresher, less political coffee out there. So take a second, read the About Us on the page at least, and maybe consider signing up or picking up some coffee today to help support the channel. Okay, so this says Meghan's Netflix cancellation shows the woke streaming bubble has burst. Now, I don't think my audience is particularly familiar with this do-nothing Meghan Markle. She's famous for literally no reason whatsoever. So she's married to a prince who has no real power, and they hide in America, and they live off celebrity here. But this was written this morning after her woke cartoon got canceled. She would no doubt have learned from her own experiences, taken strength from overcoming traditional gender stereotypes, suffered from rejection by traditional hierarchies, and yet somehow managed to finally bring the world together in celebration of sensitivity and inclusiveness by the end of season 1. A few princess-obsessed under 10s will probably be distraught that Pearl, the animated adventure series, that was meant to be the first product to emerge from the Duchess of Sussex's mega deal with Netflix, has already been canceled before it got into production. Everyone else will probably be relieved and get back to watching Sienna Miller furiously glower her way through Westminster in Anatomy of a Scandal. But the closer look suggests that the tectonic plates might be shifting. Pearl may have been a hopelessly tragic idea for a series, but Meghan's cancellation comes right on the back of Spotify's decision to quietly shuffle Michelle and Barack Obama off its roster of high-profile podcasters. A coincidence? No. In truth, the streaming giants, like much of the rest of the media establishment, are starting to work out the sanctimonious woke programming doesn't actually pull in viewers. Imagine that. Imagine that. It's almost as if somebody, and maybe hundreds of thousands of people who might be watching this video right now and leaving a like on it, it's almost like we've been telling them that. It's almost like we've been telling them that since the beginning. It was easy enough to hide during the credit bubble when easy money was flying around everywhere. But now that cash is starting to get tighter and becoming far, far harder, market forces are finally starting to reassert themselves, and preachy dull as ditch water should be thankfully be co-signed to the past. The image of the Sussexes as a global media and tech mogul is getting increasingly hard to sustain. The Sussex Royal brand, with the brand plants with baby clothes, wellness courses, was quietly dropped in 2020 after they ceased to be working royals. Prince Harry is still a chief impact officer at the coaching startup BetterUp, but it seems that his impact may be not be what everyone hoped. There were reports last week of coaches and staff rebelling over cuts to their terms and conditions which suggests that the clients may not be finding for its platforms for, quote, care customized to meet each person's individual needs. It's not just Meghan. Last month, it emerged that Michelle and Barack Obama were ending their multi-million-dollar deal with Spotify. Barack's blokey chats with Bruce Springsteen were entertaining enough, but the rest of it was planned output, was an exercise in self-indulgent sermonizing of the sort that sends listeners for the shuffle button. Meanwhile, there's not much sign of yet another season of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop Lab on Netflix after the first one led to canceled subscriptions, an online petition to stop it from ever returning. True, in show business, there will always be misses as well as hits, but no one expects every program commission to work out. Even so, there is a bigger issue here. This is via the Telegraph, than just one or two flops. As the Tesla founder Elon Musk rightfully identified, the streaming giants have been captured by a brand of preachy, politically correct woke programming that is at risk of driving away audiences. The woke mind is making Netflix unwatchable, he tweeted days ago. And with his takeover of the equally left-leaning Twitter, Musk is onto something. There are three big issues here. First, there's been too much easy money around. Netflix may have had 222 million subscribers, although that total is starting to fall, but it's also sitting on $14 billion in debt. It has borrowed a ton of money, poured it into expensive programs, and kept its fingers crossed that somehow a profitable business would emerge. The first part has been a great success, but the second is proving a lot harder. Next, its debt-fueled expansion has meant that it has not had to worry too much about what consumers actually want to watch. It's simply made so much content that some of it, Bridgerton, Emily in Paris, was bound to stick. When every other show had to justify itself will be a lot harder. Finally, the tech industry, with only a few notable exceptions, have been captured by the cadre of millennial employees who have grown up in a culture that has become hyper-politicized, obsessed with wellness and work-life balance, and engaged in a full-on culture war with normal society. Along the way, it has drifted further and further away from where the mass market actually is. Almost like regular apolitical coffee with the name literally coffee brand coffee, but that's neither here nor there. Meghan's dire sounding prose is a perfect example. Dull, worthy, preachy, sermonizing. What were the chances that the inspiring female leaders featured would have included animated Miss Thatcher discussing the importance of controlling inflation, or indeed a CGI Queen Elizabeth I on making the modern world in the Tudor England? I don't know. It goes a lot deeper than that. Very soon, the entertainment industry will have to get back to being what it always should have remained, an entertainment industry. And when we look at this, when you saw, for example, Netflix has canceled Space Force after 2 seasons, a show that I don't know was born out of a Trump meme, didn't age well. And I've got nothing but love for Steve Carell, but I mean, this was an all-star cast: Steve Carell, John Malkovich. But it's almost like they were trying to, I don't know, capitalize on the Orange Man bad stuff. I don't really know what they thought. After debuting in 2020, a somewhat timely lampooning of the United States Space Force, Netflix's Space Force workplace sitcom has already been canceled. Didn't even make it past 1 season. Netflix lost subscribers, but it really lost something larger. Call it mythology. Netflix cancels Meghan Markle's animated series Pearl amid cutbacks. David Furnish was expected to produce the show and is believed to be about her own childhood. Nobody cares. People see this like woke garbage, and like, I don't want to hear about how to be a better person from somebody who probably isn't a very good person in the first place, but also somebody who never had to work for anything. Someone who is famous for being famous, who's born literal royalty. I don't really care. I'm just trying to pay my bills. That's like most people's reaction to this kind of stuff. I don't really care that while you're wearing a $5,000 jacket and $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 bracelets, $1 million rings, I'm not interested in watching your cartoon about how I can be a better person. And this and more, and from what I'm hearing, there's another round of layoffs coming. So this is just yet another example that things are shifting. The age of just throwing money around as inflation rises is gone. It's just gone. Netflix faces losing licensed hit shows to streaming rivals. Back in July, they lost Friends. I mean, they're losing all sorts of things. I mean, Friends was the #1 show they had in the UK and they lost it. Big Bang Theory, I think they lost that too. So, The Office, gone. People just want to watch old reruns of comedies that weren't woke trash. And Netflix doesn't have any anymore. I couldn't be happier. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you'll check out Coffee Brand Coffee today for our official grand opening. We'll talk to you again real soon.